Finding solutions to global warming is now a top concern across the political and corporate landscape. Major companies are trying to get ahead of activists with their own pledges to go carbon neutral in the coming years. Their plans include restoring rainforests in order to receive credits for their climate initiatives. But is that really doing enough to help curb their carbon footprints? NBC News correspondent Josh Lederman joins us now with more on this. Josh, good morning to you. So first of all, walk us through what are these credits that some of these companies are getting?
So the basic idea here, Joe, is that trees and rainforests are what's known as carbon sinks, meaning those trees that you see, they actually absorb and store carbon dioxide that would otherwise be going out into the atmosphere, causing global warming. And so by expanding or at least preserving the forests and the trees that we have, we can prevent some of that carbon dioxide from going into the atmosphere. So what companies have been doing is buying credits where basically a middleman says, okay, look, for every ton of carbon dioxide that's going to be safely stored in a tree somewhere, not contributing to global warming, you're going to get a credit. And then you can use that credit to offset your own emissions that you're not able to reduce. So, for example, Delta Airlines, which obviously has a lot of emissions from the jet fuel that all of its planes burn, it is spending $30 million to preserve a Cambodian wildlife sanctuary as well as an Indonesian peat forest, and as a result, they are getting credits that they can then use in their balance books to say, look, we are carbon neutral because all the emissions we have, we're offsetting them with these trees that are actually going to store other carbon and create a net zero kind of situation.
So, Josh, here's the key question. Are these forest credits really making a difference in helping to offset the carbon footprint of these massive companies, or is it just a way for corporations to escape the tough task of actually cutting down on emissions?
Yeah, you really put your finger on the big issue here. Climate finance experts and environmental groups say this whole thing does not deliver near the benefits that it should because, for example, it's really hard to prove what would happen if you didn't pay people to preserve these forests. How do you know that a wildlife area or a forest that isn't cut down was going to be cut down if you hadn't paid this money? And if you can't prove that, you're not really reducing carbon from the atmosphere. You're really just generating something that these companies can use in their advertisements to investors who are climate focused to say they look really good and they're offsetting their emissions, when in fact, when it comes to the climate balance books, things are still getting worse. And that's the big concern that folks have, particularly as this industry is growing rapidly following the climate summit in Glasgow and efforts by businesses to show they're really taking climate change seriously.
Important issue. Josh Lederman. Josh, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.